Ladies and gentlemen, baby, we are live! Let's go! Ladies, gentlemen, the stream is starting soon. Bring me back on! Where's my microphone? Ladies, gentlemen, all alive, la 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 la. Baby. Ladies, gentlemen, look into my eyes. Look. This is serious business. This is not some classical guitar player shit. We play electric guitars on this channel. Electric guitars. Not some classical guitar guy with a bow tie sitting there not doing anything. We might like him a little sometimes. Baby! Woo! That's what I'm talking about! Ladies, gentlemen! Happy Friday! Happy Saturday! The mic is loud! That's okay! Woo! I love it. I love it when we get to this weekend thingy and everything is high energy. My gosh, I love it. I swear to God, I love it so hard. How are we? You, ma'am, sir, what's happening, baby? How are you? Happy Friday to you. Happy Saturday. I hope you're well. I hope your loved one's well. I hope things are doing really well for you, going really well for you. Because in this stream today, my gosh, I gotta tell you, man, we got one heck of a docket. It's a heck of a docket. If you're a guitar fan, today's docket is it. Let me tell you why. Don't you want to know why? And I'm telling you. I'm about to tell you why. Because first, we are going to talk about Ed Sheeran's new PRS guitar. Huh? PRS? Ed Sheeran? Yes! And we're going to talk about it. Then, Gibson has a new strategy with their vintage old school guitars. We're going to talk about that. Next, Matt Bellamy of the band Muse got an 8-string. A new 8-string. An 8-string? Yeah, an 8-string. The guy plays only rock and like soft rock, like Muse, right? Why does this man need an 8th string? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that for sure. Then we're going to talk about Eddie Van Halen doing some ungodly stuff to his electric guitars. We're going to talk about Chevrolet's new guitar coming out. It's a Super Strat, which I can't wait to tell you about. And then we're going to talk about Iron Maiden's Adrian Smith making some comments about guitars. And that's it. Isn't that a heck of a docket? Isn't that one heck of a docket? Ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat. That's what you're in for. That's what you're in for. A damn treat. So, with that said, let's get started. Now, chat, tell me, lovely people on the chat, hello, hi. Tell me, how's the sound? Is the sound okay? Are we happy with the sound? I'll take it as a yes. Okay, good. So let's get started. Let's get to our first item on the docket. Let me corrupt you with electric guitars. Especially if you're a classical guitar player, I'm gonna corrupt you to electric guitar. Because acoustic guitar players, we can kind of tolerate a little. We might tolerate acoustic guitar players a little. But classical guitar players, that's a problem. Especially if you sit there like, and you put a bow tie on. If you ever held a classic guitar with a bow tie, we got a problem. If it wasn't a bow tie, there's still some hope. But if you got a bow tie, like, okay. All right. So with that said, we're going to talk, actually, that's a great segue because we're going to talk about somebody, an acoustic guitar player who transitioned to electric, who finally saw the light that these classical guitar players do not see. He saw it. And that is Ed Sheeran. Let me corrupt you with guitar talk. Join the dark side. Okay. Check this out. Oops, nope, don't check that out. Check this out. That's more like it. Check this out. Hold on. that was a failed move. Not gonna lie to you. So, Ed Sheeran. Here we are. Ed Sheeran got this new electric guitar from PRS. PRS celebrates Ed Sheeran's collab with Dave Grohl and John Mayer on F1 movie soundtrack with a one-off racing themed guitar. Now, guys, pay attention to this one because there's a couple of really, really interesting things about this that I really want you guys to see, to take note of. Okay, so check this out. Number one, this is a collab with Dave Grohl and John Mayer. And when I play you the song that Ed played this guitar on, right, you'll know why. Obviously, John Mayer has a very long relationship with PRS. Ed Sheeran does too. He got an acoustic guitar from PRS, but it's not something that he always uses and all that. But John Mayer does. And so that's, I think, one of the reasons why John Mayer is involved in that, because obviously he's a wizard on guitar. He's toured with Ed Sheeran before, and he has a really strong relationship with the company PRS and Paul himself. And then Dave Grohl. Now, Dave is with Gibson. He's with Epiphone. But the man has a thing for rock guitar sound, right? And when you hear the song, when I play you the song that Ed has played on for this movie, you'll know exactly why Dave Grohl's been involved in that. Okay? So, keen-eyed Ed Sheeran fans may have noticed the megastar sporting a brand new electric guitar. in the music video he just premiered today for Drive. Drive is this movie, F1 movie, right? The song that forms part of the soundtrack of the highly anticipated F1, the movie, which I kind of said it, okay? Now, turns out PRS has teamed up with Sheeran for a one-off model that captures the spirit of the song, well, F1's high-powered sports cars. Right. Okay. I wanted to create a bespoke guitar with PRS for the F1 movie. I wanted to be striking, bright baritone. It is a baritone guitar, so I can use it on tour for the song. It's a fantastic guitar. I've done a few shots with it and it knocks, Ed Sheeran said. Before we move on, I just want to give you guys a taste of the song that we're talking about. So let me stop the background music and let's have a listen to this lovely song. And I'm just going to play small bits of it. You guys can check it out in full. Oops. What just happened? There we go. You guys can check it out in full on YouTube. Check this out. And it's rock. Here it is. And I highly encourage you to listen to it. It's a fun song. It's like Ed Sheeran's version of rock and roll. Like the chorus is still very melodic, very poppy and all that, but the riff is very rocky. And I think that's where Dave Grohl came in. That's like his bread and butter, right? Rock and roll is the man's bread and butter since Nirvana days, okay? So that's the new song that Ed Sheeran did for that movie, and I highly encourage you guys to check it out. But talking about guitars, that's that guitar. Now, here's some few interesting facts about the guitar. Number one, it is an SE model. What? Yeah, it is an SE model. So for those who don't know, and most of you guys know this, but PRS has like three main, and there's more, but they have like three tiers of guitar, like as products. You got the core models, which are the high-end stuff. These are like the custom shop and core models. These are the US made guitars. They're like the cream of the crop. Then you got the S2 stuff that are still made in Maryland, in the US, but they're like the next level down. And then you have the SE models that are currently made in Indonesia, that they're the affordable model. And this guitar is an SE guitar. Now, let's go back to the article for a second, because this is what happened. We know it's a once-off, and we know it's an SE, which means that it's going to get, in all likelihood, it's going to get mass-produced. This is a production model. It could be a limited edition model, but it's still a production model. Means that you can actually buy it in a near future. In the near future, you should be able to buy this because it's an SE model. They wouldn't create an SE model for Ed Sheeran unless they want to mass produce it. Like, that's the thing. I'll be surprised. Like, I'll be shocked if PRS doesn't do a limited edition. This is like the best advertisement for them ever. Like, I'll be very shocked if this doesn't make it to like at least the limited edition run. Like, they have to. They really have to. Right? So, talking about the guitar now, is a fully bespoke SE hollow body baritone with a custom classic red paint job. And for those who don't know, by the way, PRS got a SE hollow body baritone, right? The fretboard is as unique as the rest of the guitar, with an inlay featuring a vintage racer shift gate. I'll show it to you guys at the 12th fret. With yellow bird inlays. This has been an exciting project to work on with Ed. Details, PRS Guitars Director of Artists and Community Relations, Bev Fowler. From this year of playing our electrics, he knew exactly what he wanted in terms of look, sound, and feel. This unique creation will be incredibly memorable once the video is released, which is now. PRS has been Ed Sheeran's go-to brand for his electronics since 2018. That is true. with his arsenal including a stock custom 22, a hollow body 2, and a Prism Dragon's Breath finish with Bing cherries on the fretboard, and a one-stop purple Silver Sky gifted to him by John Mayer. Yeah, so that was gifted to him after the tour. So they went on tour together, Ed and John Mayer. So there we go. And this is the guitar. I'll take you guys to the PRS website in a second to see it. Meanwhile, the Global Star is inextricably linked to the Martin LX1E when it comes to the acoustics. Yeah, exactly. That's what Martin is what he mostly plays, which is kind of sad. I don't like it. I like him with PRS more. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think? You guys like Martin? Like, do you guys want to see PRS with Ed Sheeran with PRS or with Martin? Like, who likes to see PRS more with this guitar as opposed to an acoustic? Like, if it's like a piezo, hollow body piezo. Chat, tell me. Let's go all crazy here. Let's go all crazy here. Okay. So this is the guitar we're talking about. Yeah, Ed Sheeran. I'm surprised. I mean, hollow body makes perfect sense considering the fact that he plays mostly acoustic. And this is a piezo, by the way. You guys see the two jack inputs. So this guitar can sound like an electronic and an acoustic, basically. That's what it means. And this is that shift gear fret inlay at the 12th fret, which is crazy. This is by the way, so this look, for those who don't know, was inspired by Ferrari, yellow and red. This is the Ferrari of PRS SE guitars. Yeah. Now, this is the thing. There is no specs on this guitar on their website, which makes me believe that the specs of this is incredibly similar with their other SEs. Like I said, for those who just joined in, this is an SE baritone hollow body piezo. And Ed Sheeran, one soft guitar SE. If you give an SE guitar to Ed Sheeran, it's not a one soft. Surely there's going to be a limited edition run of these guitars out there, one way or the other. Like, you don't make a guitar for Ed Sheeran as an SE if it's not going to be a production model, right? Now, if you go to like SE hollow body to piezos, so that's this guitar, which is, I would guess that it's very similar, if not exactly the same. It's very similar to the guitar that Ed Sheeran has, right? These are the specs of this guitar. So it's a maple top with a flame maple veneer, and that's an SE guitar. But guys, if you don't know what a veneer is this like a very thin, narrow layer of wood, or sometimes other material, but usually a layer of like a very thin wood that you put on top of more affordable guitars. So guitars that are having more affordable tone woods in them. And the reason you would do that is because of more affordable woods don't look as good as high-end woods. Like, they don't have nicer patterns, you know, like swamp ashes patterns or maples patterns and all the beautiful wood patterns. So you put something really thin on top of it so that the guitar still looks good, but doesn't actually have that expensive wood, but it looks really good. That's the flame maple veneer. Middle wood is mahogany, and then the back wood is maple. So it's a maple mahogany body, basically, in short. 22 frets, makes perfect sense. 25-inch scale, very standard. Neck is also mahogany. The neck is a multiply neck. So what this means is that it's not one piece of wood, it's a bunch of pieces of wood glued together, and they make the neck. And it's actually really good for neck stability, by the way. So depending on the material that you put in there between the wood, you can actually put like carbon rods in there to like make the guitar really stable. Like 7/8 string guitars got a lot of those. Ibanez's do a lot of those. So you see like a back of a neck of an 8-string Ibanez guitar, you'll see some like black or dark line, and those are carbon rods for extra stability. But multiply necks are usually more stable, a little bit more. Truss rod, PRS double acting, neck shape is wide fat. Which, if this guitar's neck is also wide fat, I'll be a little surprised. I'll be a little bit surprised, considering the fact that, like, this is Ed Sheeran. He takes that guitar everywhere. You want to play, you know, long shows, etc., etc. I just don't know why you would want to have a fat neck playing all those chords, because he only plays chords, right? He doesn't noodle, he doesn't shred. It's just chords. So you would think that he'd get something a little thinner for less strains on his hand, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be the same neck on this guitar. Wide fat is like old school, very old school way of doing the neck, and that makes perfect sense. This is an old school guitar, right? You don't look at this guitar and think gent. You don't do it, right? But just for the sake of ergonomics and touring, I don't think, yeah. Well, that's just my thought. Now, fretboard wood, ebony. This is probably ebony. Is it a rosewood or ebony? Nah, this is ebony, yeah. Fretboard radius 10-inch. Makes perfect sense. It's round. I won't be surprised at all if this one's also 10 or 9.5. Rounder radiuses, rounder necks, rounder fretboards are better suited for getting chords on. Flatter ones are mostly for noodling and bends and releases. So that makes perfect sense. And then obviously got the inlays and yada yada. The bridge has a PRS adjustable piezo stop tail. Tuners are PRS design tuners. Nickel hardware, bone nut, obviously. And then you have your 5815 LTS electronics on this guitar. Here's my guess. This guitar would probably have the US pickups in it. My guess, my prediction, and I'm going to ask you guys about your thoughts in a second, so think about this, right? I believe that this guitar will come with a, number one, thinner neck, number two, US pickups, comparing to the other SE Piezo. Chat, tell me, what do you think? Where's chat? Would you agree with this prediction? Do you think that this guitar comes with US pickups? Because this is the thing, like Ed Sheeran SE, it's going to be a limited edition production model. Like PRS would be out of their mind not to do it. Like for free, honestly. It's such an advertisement, right? Ed Sheeran is massive. So this guitar is going to be a production model at some point, like a limited edition run. And they're going to put the US pickups in it and sell it for much more. That's my guess. What do we think? Do you agree, chat, or you don't? And we got people joining us from Twitch as well. Hello, Twitch. What's happening? So tell me, would you guys agree? Like, it's going to be a production model. Yeah. But that's the thing, right? The thing is that the only constraint I see here is the cost. So when you have a signature model, that signature model, SE signature model here, is going to be more expensive, that's for sure, than your normal SEs. If you put the US pickups in there, the cost of it is going to go a lot more higher. So it's going to be a lot closer to an S2 in terms of the cost. So maybe the production model won't have the US made pickups. They would probably just install it for Ed, for touring and everything else. So that could be one factor to consider. But again, I can't say this enough. No chance in hell they don't make this a limited edition run. Yeah. Like, this is a production model, man. You don't give SE to Ed Sheeran to not then make more of them. Can I say something, though? I won't buy it. Like, let's just say somebody's like, hey, Soren, here's extra, like, couple of grand sitting around. Would you buy this guitar? I wouldn't buy it. And I don't have anything against Ed Sheeran. I play metal music. Metal and hard rock is what I mostly play. Almost exclusively. Like, I play other things. Like, once in a while, I play Julian Lage, some jazzy, poppy fusion tunes. Blues sometimes. But this guitar is not well suited for my needs at all. And I love the look. I don't like holes in a guitar. But yeah. I don't like a thing. So here's what you can do, right? Like, for example, if let me stop the music. This is like a serious business part of the stream. Hold on. Let me stop the music. If a classical guitar player comes to you, or somebody that plays anything other than electric guitars, right? And they go like, hath thou guitar a hole? Because classical guitar players always wear bow ties and speak like British English, right? They have the accent. Like, hath thou guitar a hole? Like, if they ask you that, you'd say, this is how you answer, okay? You'd say, no, but your mama does. That's how you answer, okay? I'm just preparing you guys for real life scenarios here. Look at me. Where's my microphone? Look. If a classical guitar player, I'll say it again. If a classical guitar player asks you if your guitar has a hole in it, you'd say no, but your mama does. Okay? These are important skills to develop when it comes to having friendly and constructive conversations with other guitar players. Why is this camera not zooming okay? I spent half an hour trying to set up this piece of crap. It's not zooming, but I was trying to figure out like how to fix the zoom in this, and then I noticed my double chin. Like, yeah. Anyways, the point is, let these classical guitar players know what you're about. That no guitar should have a hole in it. Guitars are not meant to have a hole in it, okay? Electric guitars, just no hole. Not good, okay? And usually, like, when I say this, somebody on Twitch says something horrible, but you guys are being very civil on Twitch today, which I'm very surprised. Usually doesn't happen that often. YouTube is very friendly. YouTube guys are usually very supportive. Twitch is usually when I get the trolling, but you guys are really civil today. This might change a little later down the stream, but not yet. All right, let's go to our second item on the docket, and that is Gibson. So before I start sharing the screen, Gibson they've recently been going around trying to implement new strategies when it comes to their guitar sales. So for example, one of the things they started to do was opening their own store. So they're now selling direct to customer. And in one of our older streams, I talked about why sales are going down. Moms and pops businesses, brick and mortar guitar stores are failing. They're going out of business. Bigger guys take over. And one of the things that Gibson did to sort of maintain their sales was they opened their own shop. They opened their own experiences. Like they've done it in Nashville. They got a store in LA, in New York, if I'm not mistaken, and places like that, right? So they are implementing new strategies to sell guitar, make a buck, keep things going, right? Now, this is their new strategy. This is one of the new things that they started to do more recently. So Gibson wants to start selling artist-owned vintage guitars. And the artist-owned is the key here, guys. Because Gibson already does sell vintage guitars, right? Pre-owned vintage guitars. But this is artist-owned vintage guitars. And Fender started to do something similar to it. Obviously, the investors at Fender bought Reverb, so Fender's got that advantage there. And Reverb, for those who don't know, is probably the biggest space online for selling used gear, right? And by gear, I mean guitar, not steroids. Like, don't go down that road. Okay, this is a guitar channel. But this is kind of like Gibson trying to sort of do the same thing in a way, I guess. Fender already got this program, something very similar to this already going. So Gibson is a little late in the game. Selling artist-owned vintage guitars to get them back out into the world to be played and enjoyed forever. Okay. Buying a vintage guitar can feel like risky business. No, it doesn't. I'll tell you why. So the Gibson Certified Vintage Initiative aims to provide peace of mind and clarity. Okay? So what they're doing is that they're going to the artist, they're getting their own like old used gear that they don't use, but they're vintage guitars, they're good guitars. They get them, they service them, they take care of them, and then they certify them. Right? And that's basically the idea. Now, buying an old guitar, guys, can be risky. obviously, right? Especially if you buy it from a like an actual like person as opposed to a store, right? So for example, I've bought probably one of the best purchases I've ever done was buying a guitar from 2005. So it's a 20-year-old guitar. I bought it and it was a secondhand guitar, and probably one of the best purchases I've ever done. But it is risky if you don't know what to look for when you buy a new guitar. It always can be risky, and even to the most experienced people, like experienced pairs of eyes, sometimes you might just miss a crack on the guitar that can be consequential in how your guitar is going to be like. Obviously, you can fix things, even if your neck breaks, not your neck, your guitar's neck breaks. You can fix it, but it's costly, it's effortful, and it's not pleasant. You know, buy something and it breaks. But it does have some inherent risk with this, that's for sure. Vintage guitars from an artist, much less risky, right? Because artists usually, like, not actually, you know what? I'll take it back. A lot of artists don't take care of their instruments, but some artists do. So yeah, has some inherent risk, but not. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like buying a vintage guitar secondhand is going to be that crazily different to buy like a 10-year-old guitar or something like that, right? Gibson may well be teaming up with artists in the future to release their vintage guitars through its certified vintage program. This is according to Gibson's certified vintage manager. You have it, that's a role. Certified vintage manager Mitch Conrad, who thinks doing so could be a great opportunity to release rare vintage gems back out into the world to be played and enjoyed. Plus, artists who have amassed a rather large collection and may want to let a few things go can be assured their instruments are being handled with care. Speaking to Gibson Gazette regarding an incredibly rare 59 Flying V, which is one of just 17, Conrad says the program helps to provide peace of mind and clarity amongst the world of vintage guitars, which can be a murky place. This is a situation where we're able to provide an opportunity for someone to purchase one of the rarest and most collectible instruments, one of 17 made in 59, with complete confidence that this is exactly what we're saying is. So, okay, we're not talking about the damage to the guitar. This angle is more like the certification, like the authenticity. That's what they meant. Yes, that's risky. Okay, authenticity is a little different. I was looking at it from more like a guitar health perspective. Now, this also gives people a chance to be close to something, see something, be inspired by something that most people won't get the opportunity to see. Maybe there is an 8-year-old kid who walks through the Gibson garage and sees this Flying V behind the glass case, and their eyes just light up. And then get their parents to buy something extremely expensive, and the parents go broke. Maybe that kid goes home with an Epiphone Flying V. Yeah. This might be the person in 40 years who has worked hard, made great money, and now they are the preservationist with the opportunity to buy this guitar. Okay. Couple of very interesting things happening here. Couple of really interesting things are happening here. Let me stop the music because I really want to make sure I communicate this correctly. Guys, first thing to bear in mind is that the expensive guitars are the ones that set the standard in the market when it comes to the pricing of guitars, right? Usually the cost, not the cost, my apologies, the price changes, the price differences in those expensive ones ripple around to the rest of the guitar market, right? What Gibson is doing here is hitting a few birds with a stone. First one, obviously, is that they keep profiting from guitars they've already sold, right? So a guitar that they sold in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, because it's not just going to be like really, really old stuff. It can be guitars from the 90s too, right? They can call whatever vintage. Anything before like year 2000 is like 25 years ago. So you can't call it vintage. But what they're doing is that they're creating themselves a new source of revenue for the guitars they've already sold. Because usually for a guitar, you sell it, most of the time, that's it, right? Sometimes people may come back to you for servicing it and repairing it and things of that nature, but that doesn't really happen that often. You sell it, it's usually that's it. So what they're doing is that they're creating sort of an exclusive revenue pathway for themselves, because Gibson only can certify Gibson, right? If your guitar breaks or requires maintenance, you can go to whoever. You can take your Gibson guitar to anybody, right? But only one person, only one company can certify Gibson, and that's Gibson. So they're creating themselves this exclusive stream of revenue, right? So that's the first thing they're doing. Second thing they're doing is what they said in the article. That is that these old, like, vintage models keep their Epiphone models afloat, right? If I celebrate this old vintage Flying V, if I lift it up, if I put it on a pedestal, if I, market it and be like, oh, this is this is like the best thing ever in the guitars, and that's like the top, cream of the crop, then I can start selling the more affordable versions of it to more people, right? And this is literally exactly what they said. Like, he might not have directly said it, Mitch Conrad, but what he said is that, like, you got a kid who walks through the Gibson garage and see this Flying V behind the glass case, and then maybe they go home with an Epiphone. They didn't say maybe they force the parents to buy like the expensive Flying V. Maybe they go home with an Epiphone, right? So this expensive vintage guitar now is gonna increase the sale of the more affordable versions of that guitar. So that's this next thing that they're sort of like achieving. That's the second goal that they're achieving with this program, right? And then the third goal that they're achieving with this is that they are making vintage guitars more available. Because vintage, like, you made it, it's over. You can't increase the supply of vintage guitars by creating more. But you can increase it by going to artists and get them to sort of like sell their guitars, and then Gibson to service it, certify it, and sell it for more, right? So you're getting the thing that you're known for back in the market. And this is one of the things with Gibson, right? So like Gibson is the old school. Gibson is the old stuff, right? 50s and 60s and 70s. Even like, I remember, man, like 60s Gibsons had issues. 2000s Gibsons had quality control issues, but they're still, the brand, the vintage brand. And so they're getting more of that out there. So that's the third kind of strategy, the third thing that they're doing with it. Yeah. Zuhair, what's happening, baby? I'm good. How are you? Happy Friday, pal. How's things? I hope you're well. Let me bring the music back on. But yeah, that's the thing with Gibson, like, and the thing is, you don't have like a lot of the, like, what's the word for it, quality control issues to worry about when it comes to these things, because it's already been produced and all that. The thing that I think would kill this program is if by any chance Gibson mistakenly certify an inauthentic guitar. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, because they have this certification program, right? They're certifying the... Let me share my screen. They're certifying this thing, right? And so the crazy thing with the thing that would really bring it down, destroy it, is if there's one guitar that they make a mistake on. They mistakenly certify something that is inauthentic. It's like not a chips in, but not the authentic thing from like the 90s. Then this whole thing will go down to drains like in a blink. Yeah. Which I won't be surprised, to be honest with you. Like, they have had serious quality control issues with their guitars. And they still do. Excuse me. They've had serious quality control issues with the guitars. But yeah, best wishes to Gibson. Honestly, man, to be honest with you, I don't see anything crazy special about old school guitars. I never did. For me, every guitar that I pick up and play is a new guitar, and I, set the standard from like based on my likes and my way of doing things. And so I never liked the sound of really old guitars. I never did. It's like selling it it's like really old car. It's no different. A really old guitar is very similar to a really old car. Right? And now you might like fantasize this old like World War II Benz cars or whatever, like Volkswagen from like the 80s. And you might say, oh, this is great and makes me feel good and has a spirit and sounds great and I love it. And that's fantastic if it works for you. But I won't take this ancient, expensive, brand new, like Volkswagen from the 60s. I won't take it over a normal Toyota Camry. Like, I'll take that Toyota Camry any given day. I'm serious. And the price difference might be crazy. But if I'm not selling the guitar and I'm just using it for transport, I'll go with Toyota Camry any given day if you give me like any car from the 60s. Because those things feel like tanks. The springs are crazy. The chairs are crazy. The safety, like, how fuel efficient it is. How much gas am I supposed to put in that thing? How much the car drinks. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to a nice car, it's efficient, has airbags. Seat belts work. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe it's just me. But yeah, I honestly never saw, and I have expensive pieces of gear, right? Like I'll show you guys this. So this is the guitar that I bought. This is the oldest secondhand guitar I've ever bought. This guitar was made in 2005, and I bought it secondhand, right? Somebody like actually brought it from Chicago here. So, oops, check this out. So this is a Washburn Nuno Betancourt and 4 signature. Only 25 of these were ever made. You guys see the number there? I'll show you here. Hold on. So only 25 ever made. And this is the guitar that, like, was made in, 2000, hold on. In 2006. Not 2005. I made a mistake, sorry. I said it's 2005. This was made in 2006. So that's like 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago. And it's a 20-year-old guitar. And it was in almost perfect condition when I bought it. It's one of the best purchases I ever did. But when I bought it, I didn't think, oh my God, it's an old Nuno guitar. I thought, oh, this feels really great to play, and it sounds fantastic. The neck, I love the feel of the neck. It's kind of nice, it's light, it's well balanced, and it sounds super good. And so I bought it. But if next to this guitar was another guitar, that like a PRS SE, like an Indonesian-made guitar, and I played it and it felt better, I would have picked that guitar up. There's nothing special about like old school gear. The only reason these guitars are so expensive is because there's less of them. Is because you can't make the 50s electric guitar anymore because we're no longer in the 50s. That's the reason why. It doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the guitar. It doesn't have anything to do with the sound of the guitar. Not anymore. Not in the age of AI. We're going to get, mark my words, in 3 years or less, we're going to get AI-powered plugins, guitar plugins, that you can use in your DAW, in your music recording software, that is going to get a sound of any guitar and turn it into whatever guitar sound you want. And you wouldn't be able to distinguish, you wouldn't be able to see the difference between the AI-generated one and the actual old guitar. 5 years max. We're gonna get it. You're gonna have a plastic electric guitar that is gonna sound better than any vintage guitar ever because of that AI powered plugin. Won't be long now. So right? Won't be long now. So that's the thing. But there is genuinely, sincerely, nothing special about any of these guitars. You know what this reminds me of? Who was here last week? Who was here last week? We talked about Klon pedals, the ones that are made between 1994 and 2008, and how some of them right now on Reverb are 20,000 US dollars. There's nothing special about those either. Dorotio's there. Hey, man, how are you? Good to see you again. How was the concert last week? Because you went to the Metallica Pantera concert. How was it? Right? So like Dorotio remembered, we talked about that pedal and we said, look, this is $20,000, but it's not special. There's nothing special about it. The only thing that really contributes to the price tag is the fact that it's just no longer produced. It's harder to get. It's exactly the same thing about these guitars too. Exactly the same thing about these guitars. So I appreciate the fact that Gibson is doing this certified vintage initiative. I appreciate the fact that guitars that are made that are sitting in some artist's garage are going to go out there and played by more people. I love that. Guitars to be played. You know, you buy an expensive guitar, you might think, oh, you know, maybe I can just put it there like a decor. No. Guitars to be played. Look at what Kirk Hammett is doing with Peter Greeny's guitar. Right? So, yeah, but the point is, bottom line is there's nothing special or crazy about these guitars. It's just the fact that you can't, what's the word for it? Produce them anymore. Yeah. Metallica played a 2-hour set and it went so fast. Every song was a killer. Oh, goddamn. I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good time. Must have been one heck of a gig. Zuhair says, is there any way to fix dents and chips on a guitar? Yes, there is. There is a way to fix dents and chips on a guitar, but I think part of that, though, depends on like how deep it is, to be fully honest with you. So, for example, if you got like some like just like a minor scratch or dent, it might not be like fully worth it for some people, I guess, but some people it is. But yeah, there are things. So they're basically what they do is that they have filler material, and different luthiers use different filler materials. Some of them, I remember there was one that I saw that was made with something similar to epoxy and wood crumbs. Like it was something like a weird thingy. It was like a weird clay kind of a thingy. And so he used it to fill like minor dents and chips, and then they repainted that guitar. So there are ways to fix dents and chips on a guitar, yes. But a couple of things to keep in mind, right? So if it's like really small, it's not that hard to do, and the painting over that paint over job is not that difficult either. There is a way to make sure that the patchwork in color is similar to the rest of your guitar. Depending on, what the color of your guitar is. But mind you, if your guitar is, for example, stained, not painted, obviously then the pattern of the wood is going to change. Like, so if you got a guitar with a veneer, or if you got a top wood that has a very special kind of pattern of its own, and then you do that fill patch job, the color is not going to be the same. The pattern is not necessarily going to be the same. With painted guitars is a lot easier than stained guitars, I think. So that's the thing. Mind you, though, guys, a quick caveat here. This one, I don't have personal experience in. I'm reciting you what I've heard from people who know better. So this one is not something that I've personally done. But yes, there is a way, from my understanding. Yeah. My Gibson Flying V has accumulated quite a lot of those in the past 15 years. I had it. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Having your guitar for 15 years and playing it and loving it. That's great. But can I ask you something though, Zuhair? Is is the scratches in those dents, like, are they in the way of your playing? Like, are they on the upper wing of the body of your guitar? Because if it doesn't scratch your arm or anything, if it doesn't scratch your arm or anything, leave it there. That's your guitar. That's the character of your guitar. Yeah, it's very unique to me now. Not at all. Not at all in the way of playing. Leave it there. That's like, you've relicked your own guitar. That's like one of the most awesome things ever, man. Because like people go like to Fender Custom Shop or whatever other store and they buy vintage guitars, right? But that's not cool. There's nothing cool about it. You guys, oh my. This is how much I love and respect. Zuhair, check this out. This is how much I love and respect people who keep a guitar and they vintage their own guitar, like they relic their own guitar. You can see it from the thumbnail of my streams. Have you guys seen the thumbnail of my streams? Hold on, let me show it to you. Hola. For those who haven't seen it, and I know Zuhair and Dorotio are like our friends that join us for the streams and have a lot of fun with me, like, quite often. But check this out. I'm gonna share my screen with you. So this is the new. So episode 1 to 7 had a different photo of me. This is episode 8 of the guitar angle. But this guitar, let me move myself. This guitar on the right, the N4, has been around in all of my thumbnails. I use this quite often. This is Nuno's actual N4. Like, that's the one that he plays the most. One of the guitars that he plays the most. And look at the pattern of this guitar, like what he's done to the guitar by playing it. So when I tell you that I love and respect people who relic their guitars by playing it, keeping it, taking care of it, you know I'm telling you the truth. Like, one of the things I wish, I hope I can do to 2 of my guitars is exactly that. And one of those guitars I just showed you guys earlier on. Yeah. Like, yeah. On the, Dorotio said true battle scars on that axe. Yeah. Yeah. And he got another one too, by the way. Let me show you guys. Hold on. Nuno, Betancourt, N4. And I want to show you guys just the N4 that he actually uses himself. Check this out. Hold on. Is there a better photo of it? No, that's not. There's one that he uses. Oh, it's this one that he uses here. Check this out. See this? Let me make this bigger, maybe. Hold on. You guys see that? This bit, this bit, this bit, all of that. True battle scars. Dorotio said it best. True battle scars on that axe. And I love it. I just love it when people do that. Like, took it out on tour. Like, how much do you have to play to do that to an unfinished? So this guitar, by the way, is not colored. That's like the wood itself. How much do you have to play, you know, for something like that to happen to a guitar? That's awesome. That's like the highest compliment. All right, let me fix this. There we go. Anyways, sorry, Zuhair. Long story short, like, this is how, like, I got excited so much I couldn't shut up about it. Long story short, that's the thing. Yeah. On the near neck area in the back and on the lower wing near the end, doesn't hamper playing at all. And yeah, agreed. Gotcha. Couldn't that guitar be made like that? Nuno's guitar? It could. It is actually. No. Sorry. Not it could. It is. So this guitar, Washburn, the company, actually have a Nuno vintage. That is the relic guitar. Hold on. So they actually had this, like, Nuno Authentic USA. There we go. So they actually literally vintaged it, reliced it. So they just like created all these dents artificially on the guitar. Yeah, so they actually got it. They got a model like that. But again, if you're like Zuhair Reza, who can relic his own guitar, why would you buy a relic guitar? Is what I'm trying to say. Hell yeah. Firm handshakes. Firm handshakes to anybody that play the heck out of their guitar and relic their own guitars, as opposed to going to some custom shop and getting some luthier to dent the guitar with freaking hammer and screwdrivers and whatever. Firm handshakes to anybody that plays guitar. By the way, if you guys haven't checked Dorotio's YouTube channel, do it. Dorotio is one of the guys in the comments. Go to his channel. The man knows how to play guitar. The man knows how to play guitar. And I like it. I like it. I love it when... Look at me. We got to go to the look at me camera. Hold on. Look at me. Look. I love it when electric guitar players play well and play better than classical players. It just does it for me. I like, because you see this classical player, like, you know, with a bow tie and with a guitar that has a hole in it, and they just go like, you know, whatever. And then an electric guitar player comes in and he shreds. Isn't that great? Look into my eyes. Look. And tell me that's not good. Is my eyes in there? Yes, it is. Yes, there are. Look. Yeah. I swear to God, if anyone makes comments about me shaving my eyebrows, I'm going to lose it. And Twitch, I'm looking at you. Like, YouTube guys are not... Usually YouTube is very polite and civil. It's Twitch that the trolling comes from. We don't fool around here. We don't... We might be able to talk about, shaving eyebrows a little on this channel, but not so much, okay? So, let's not go down that road. All right. So, first, we talked about PRS guitars linking up with Ed Sheeran and John Mayer and Dave Grohl. So, for those who joined us a little late, this was the guitar that we talked about. That was the first item on the docket. This is the Ferrari SE PRS guitar that PRS made for Eddie. Then we talked about PRS Piezo. That's like the specs of that guitar. We talked about the Gibson program. And now we are going to talk about Matt Bellamy's 8-string guitar. Zuhair says, your eyebrows are fine. Also, you have a nice way of presenting and doing live stream. Firm handshakes, man. Thank you, sir. I love it when somebody compliments my eyebrows. Seriously. I'm kidding. All right. Now, who here knows Muse? Because if you know Muse, you probably know Matt Bellamy. Who knows Muse? Have you guys seen the movie? It's like a really old movie. The vampire movie. What is it called? What was that movie called, guys? Vampires. Bella and like the vampire werewolves. What is that called? That Muse played the soundtrack of. Oh my God. Twilight. Is it Twilight? I think it's Twilight. Hold on. I think it was Twilight. Twilight movie. Twilight. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Tortilla. Yeah, it's this. Okay. And I got to know Muse, believe it or not. So I used to be in a cover band. So I was the lead guitarist and the vocalist for that. And it was the three of us. So it was me, a bass player, and our drummer. And we actually covered Muse songs quite a lot. But Muse has this song in, I think, the first Twilight movie that is called Supermassive Black Hole. That's like probably one of the most famous songs. Let me quickly play it for you guys. Muse, Supermassive Black Hole, Twilight. So there was this scene in Twilight that they play Supermassive Black Hole in. It's this song. Boom, ba-da, ba-bum, ba-da, bum. Ooh, you set my soul alight. Right? It's that song. A lot of you probably have heard this song before, right? So Matt Bellamy, which is the person that we're going to talk about, that's Matt Bellamy with the iconic nose. He has a new 8-string guitar. Now, this is why I found this. When I read this first, I was like surprised. Very, very surprised. Because Muse plays like this rock, poppy kind of genre when they were active in writing new songs. And like, so I've actually covered this song, Supermassive Black Hole. I covered Our Time Is Running Out. I covered Rise or something like that. I don't remember the name. But all these songs are in standard tuning. Like, so, and the chord progressions are not crazy different. Like, Muse got really good and catchy songs, but they don't have intricacy in terms of like technicality with the thing. Like, you're playing, you're playing C major, A minor, G, F kind of progression on a lot of their songs. You know what I mean? And so I was really surprised. Like, what would this man do? Why would he need an 8-string? Unless there is a crazy shift artistically happening to what he's doing. Okay. So, Matt Bellamy wields 8-string RX, which is a guitar brand. So, this week we take a look at the custom-built Midnight Purple Manson Oryx that Matt Bellamy has been wielding with Muse Live while they're on tour, which is this. Manson Guitar Works has shared via their Instagram the new custom-built Midnight Purple Manson RX 8-string guitar that Matt Bellamy ordered. I just added that word. Muse has experimented with extended tunings, and Bellamy is known to have many custom guitars. That's sure he does. So this latest model certainly fits with their experimental side. I haven't heard their new songs. Their old songs are not experimental whatsoever. I'll just be honest with you guys. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not. Okay. Anyways. That looks like a gloss neck, by the way. Which, if it is, I'm like, not a fan. Now, Muse played live in Helsinki, Finland, and gave their new track Unraveling its world debut. The new track comes out officially on June 20th, so not long to wait for that one if you're a Muse fan. I didn't know they have new music out. Thankfully, Matt also shared another great image of this 8-string behemoth on his Instagram account. It looks like it has plenty of low-end grunt. Surprise, it's an 8-string. As currently, this appears to be a one-off. We unfortunately don't have all the juicy specifications of this bolt-on neck model. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, I don't understand like Muse. Again, I haven't heard their new songs, but I'm glad he got a new guitar. But it's just that doesn't sit with their old stuff at least. Some Muse fan online have guessed it is tuned to some form of drop E, which should be low enough to get your trousers flapping. What an expression. To get your trousers flapping. I usually just say cream your jeans, but hey, trousers flapping is a good one too. The Manson Guitar Works is just down the road from me, and a lot of my friends build these guitars and yada yada yada. Okay. Do we have some specs? Or no? Do we have anything? Matt Bellamy, there we go. What do we have here, man? This is just the old stuff. So, by the way, those who don't, and most people who follow Muse know this. Do you guys see this guitar? This white pad thing on that guitar. So this is like this MIDI thingy that when he rubs his pick on it, it'll make some like electronic sounds, like some weird noise out of that guitar. Yeah. This is the old stuff. The new stuff is not here yet. Interesting. Rep Beach natural guitar is also badass. He was the first player to use the natural woodlook axe. Rep Beach natural guitar. I haven't seen it, dude. Let me check it out. Hold on. Rep Beach guitar. Ooh. Is this the one you're talking about? Is this it? It's a Sur guitar. Right, right. Okay, we already know it's high end. We already know. Okay, let me check it out. I want to see it. Rep Beach guitar, Sur. Yeah, since 1987. Okay, I'm clearly behind here a little. I got some catching up to do. So this is what? 5,000 US dollars. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that looks sick. Check this out, guys. Way before Nuno? Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, 87. It is way before Nuno, but look at that. That looks sick. That looks insane. Okay. And these are EMGs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It's a HSS, and they're all EMG pickups. Let me go back to where I was. I bought my first guitar built by John Sur in 86. Yeah, Doherty was on the money, man. You said 87, and the first came out in 86. I suspect the production model came out a year later. It was riding a Twisted Sister record with Dee Snider called Love Is For Suckers. What a name. Dee said it looked like a coffee table. I played it, and I fell in love, and I knew it was the one. I borrowed the $1,200 from my brother, who was the director of Metropolitan Opera in New York City. I made payments to pay it off, and this guitar has been the one ever since. Hell yeah. Okay, tell me. Talk about specs. Yeah, man, Sur guitars are pretty expensive. It's pretty boutique. Yeah, pretty pricey. Neck profile, even C. Pau Ferro neck, Pau Ferro fingerboard, oil finish, two-piece Koa body wood, natural body color, oil finish. Can I say something? I have a Washburn guitar that the body is also Koa, Hawaiian Koa, and I love it. It's a beautiful piece of wood. Yeah, that is Koa. You can see it from the pattern and the grain. Okay, EMG 85 bridge. Ooh, okay. EMG SA middle in the neck, and then EMG 85 in the bridge. I wasn't expecting that. Didn't see that coming. Okay. Yeah, right. Two-piece Koa body, oil finish. And by the way, for those who don't know, oil finishes, not similar, but so not in exactly the same process, but just like nitrocellulose finishes, they also age. They age in a slightly different way. So nitro sort of gets yellowed out a little bit as it gets older. Oil kind of has a fade away kind of a thing to it. But oil finish guitars as well, they also age. So that actually makes your guitar look like it's aging as it's actually aging, which is great. Like I told you guys earlier, I'm a massive fan of relicking my own guitars. So I like it. 10-inch to 14-inch compound radius, ladies and gentlemen. Love that. They're usually 12-16, but this one is 10-14. So rounder at the top and the lower end of your guitar neck, but then more flat as you go towards the body. So 10 inch at the top, 14 inch near the body. Heavy nickel frets. And then EMG 85s we talked about. Gauda mini keys. They were the tuning machines. Original Floyd Rose recessed. Ah, man. Okay. I got one problem with this guitar. I love it. I love everything about this guitar except from one thing. Can anyone guess what it is? And I've talked about it a little earlier, like I've talked about a similar topic before. Here's my problem. It's a 10 to 14 inch compound radius, but it comes with original Floyd Rose. What's the issue? And it's not the biggest of all issues, but there's a minor issue there. Can someone guess? I'll say it again. Fretboard radius is compound 10 inches to 14 inches. It comes with an original Floyd. What's the problem? Dorothea said 22 frets. No, 22 frets. I like 22 fret guitars too. I got 22, 24, 22 and 24 guitars. They're both pretty cool to me. Or was it you just telling me that it's 22 frets? Sorry. I think you were just telling me that it's 22 frets, which is great info. Some people like 22 fret guitars because they believe that the neck pickup then will sit closer to where the 24 fret is supposed to be, and it has a better ring to the strings. Like it picks up the tones and the frequencies better. So some people for that reason like 22 frets more. But going back to my questions, what is the problem with a fingerboard radius going from 10 to 14, but having an original Floyd in it? I'll give you guys a minute to think about it. What's the problem? Tell me. Tell me. Here's the problem. So, let me stop the music so I can focus on what I'm saying. I'm not really a Floyd guy. I wasn't either. It's a lot of hassle, man. Like, setting up a Floyd guitar, it just takes a lot of time. That's why I never was. I've got like 2 or 3 guitars with Floyd out of necessity of playing the songs that I wanted to play because they had like Floyd bits in it. But I'm not a fan of the hassle of that either. Like, I set up my own guitars. I'm not going to take my guitar out to set up when I can do it well myself. But boy, it takes time. It's annoying. Well, 2 other Floyds, like the Nuno guitars I've got, the truss rod is actually on the in the neck body joint, like it's on the other side of the neck. So it's a pain to bring out, and it just the truss rods and everything else, and then you have to set up the Floyd and all that jazz. But let me tell you what the problem is. And it's not the fact that it's a floating bridge. The problem is that original Floyd Rose bridges, they come in 10-inch radiuses out of the box. So you have a scenario where your Floyd bridge, the curvature on it is 10 inches, right? And by the way, for those who don't know, maybe if I had a piece of paper, so it's like this, right? I don't have a piece of paper to show it to you. Hold on. So think of it like the curvature of the guitar neck, right? If it's 10 inches, it's much more curved. If it's like 14 inches or 20 inches, it's much more flat, right? So if you think about it, the more curved this is, the more sort of like circular this is. If you think about it in terms of circles, right? The radius is less for a more circular, more rounder, smaller circle, as opposed to a wider, less angled circle, right? That's why the lower the inches are in your guitar fretboard radius, the rounder it is. Okay, so going back to the Floyd, original Floyd Roses come with a 10-inch curvature out of box. Now, the reason they come with 10-inch out of box is because there is a shim under the Floyd. So your Floyd has like 6 pieces on it where your strings go into. Let me share a photo of it actually. Hold on. Original Floyd Rose. Original Floyd Rose. Let me share it. Okay, so see this? So this is an original Floyd Rose, right? And you got these 6 pieces going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That your strings go in there, you lock it, and your strings are connected. Right? Under the middle 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, there is a shim. In original Floyd Rose when it comes out of box. The curvature on it is 10 inches. If you take the shin out, right, then it increases the radius to 12. So you, with original Floyd Rose, you either get 10 inches or 12 inches. Now you have a scenario when your neck is different in its curvature, like your fretboard. So this guitar that Dorothy kindly shared with us, let me fix this, and I'll take you back to the guitar, right? This guitar has a 10 to 14 inch radius. Let's go back here. Here we go. Where is it? This guitar has a 10 to 14 inch radius. And so there is a mismatch in the radius of your fretboard as you get closer to the neck body joint versus the curvature of your original Floyd, which by necessity makes the action of your middle string, your third and your fourth string, higher than what it's supposed to be. That's the only minor issue. And you can set it up right. You can lower the bridge so that you got the 2 screws here on this guitar and you can screw it in and it brings the bridge down, and there's ways around it. But there's one inherent issue when you have an original Floyd Rose and a guitar with a radius curvature other than 10 or 12 inches. Yeah. Dorothy said Guitar Max Fusion Signature WN. This is the poor man's Rob Beach guitar. Okay. Let me check it out. Tell me what you think of specs and look of that axe. Okay, let's check it out. Zohair says, oh wow, are those Audio-Technica headphones? Yes, they are. I believe I have those exact ones. Oh yeah. They came with other 2 cables? Yes. Yes, we got the same model. They're pretty good too. They're pretty good headphones. But yeah, before I go to the other guitar Dorothy was talking about, that makes sense, guys, about the radius and that, the original fretboard radius and original Floyd Rose radius and the fretboard radius. So when you buy your next guitar, if it has an original Floyd on it or any other floating bridge that is fixed and you can't change the height of, make sure that the curvature of that Floyd is actually matching the curvature of your fretboard. And that way you'll have a much better chance at setting up your guitar with low action. Yeah. Arkan on Twitch says hello. How you doing? I'm good, Arkan. How are you? My headphones are not working. Can you reply to me in the chat? I can reply to you in the chat. Hold on. Let me reply to Arkan in the chat. Sure. I can reply here. Fix your headphone though. Alrighty. So, let us go and check out the guitar that Dorothy was talking about. Let me bring my music back on. It says, thanks. Do you play League of Legends? No, I don't play League of Legends. No, this is an athletic guitar channel. Cool. Okay, let me check out that guitar. Dorothy says, Guitar Max Fusion Signature WN. Okay. Guitar Max Signature. Oh, Fusion. Sorry. Yeah, Guitar Max Fusion Signature WN. Do I play video games at all? I play video games like 2 or 3 times a year. Like I have 1 video game or 2 video games installed on the computer, but I only play it when I'm about to like burn out. Cause for me, it's like I work and then I practice a lot of guitar. I have like a training routine and I make YouTube content about guitar. So that's like 70, 80 hours a week. So I usually play like when I'm burning out, like when I'm really tired and I need to really take my mind off things. Um, so yeah, that's what I would do, but not often. Um, I'm mostly like working. Yeah. I found the Guitar Max. It's by Harley Benton. Oh, ooh, okay. Yeah, it is by Harley Benton. I just noticed it, and it looks good too. All good. I'm in my early 30s, feeling like gaming is a waste of time for the most part. No real value. Yeah, look, there's no real value. Um, like in terms of productivity, I agree with you. Um, it's like nothing wrong with it. And it's like anything else, right? If it becomes an addiction, if it impacts your life in a negative way, that's the problem. But if it adds value, then, fine. And it does add value to me like 3 times a year for like 3, 4 days. I just game to sort of I can just like get stuff out of my system. Yeah. So I don't know. There was a time that I remember like earlier this year, like in February, I was like really tired and really like exhausted. So I needed to steam out. So I installed the new Call of Duty game, like the Warzone. They went back to like the old map. Forgot its name. Uh, Something. I forgot its name. But yeah, I went and played that, and it was a lot of fun. You do a lot of shooting, like virtual shooting, and there's a lot of trash talk that you can't do with other players because you got proximity chat going on. Yeah, it's just an escape. Exactly. It's just like any other escape from reality, like entertainment, movies, and all that. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm glad you feel the same about it though. Um, I know I still see a lot of like, for example, my colleagues that like they just finish work and they just go home and sit for like the remaining 5, 6 hours of the day, just game it out. Yeah. Okay, let's check this out. Dorotio suggested this one. What do we got? Actually, might as well just go to the Harley Benton website. Where is it? Okay. Another Dorotio, you really like these natural colors, don't you? I love it. Yeah. Look at that. What do we think of this? Oh, this looks so good too. Yeah, I know, Dorothy, I know your taste now. I know your taste now. I like it. That's a roasted maple neck, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Let's check it out. Body is Nyada. Top is a walnut veneer. Bolt-on neck is roasted Canadian flame maple. Like I said, that looks flayed maple. Fingerboard is flamed maple. Modern C thickness is 21 mil on the first, 23 mil on the 12th fret. Okay. Single plywood body binding. 24 fret. Pickup is Tesla Plasma X1 and Tesla Plasma RS2. Has anyone played with these? I've never heard of Tesla humbuckers. I'll check them out later. Master volume and tone, 3-way switch. A mini switch for coil split. Babbage Z Series FCH bridge. Gold plated Genio J03 Rainy Romantic style tuners. Gold plated hardware. String is 1046 and the color is natural. I really dig the look of this guitar. I really do. Zohair says, although it does look a bit cheap, for lack of a better word. Does it? I wouldn't say it. Like, so what you look, what was in it that made you feel like it kind of looks cheap? Because like, if you take me to a store, and you show me this guitar, this is the thing that I'm like, it makes me feel like there was some like cost cutting. It's not like the highest of high ends. See the difference in the color of the roasted maple and the body? If the two were of the exact same color, like this was also maple body and there was that consistency, and you'd get that consistency with the fretboard. I'd be a sucker for that guitar. The upper body, not the back. Okay, so here. You'd want a floating bridge. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, they made this guitar, at least I can say for a fact that the neck of this guitar was made based on Fender's paradigm of guitar architecture. You can very clearly see that. So look at the heel. Look at the neck body joint, the connection there. And then look at your headstock. So this is a very Fender style neck. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it like, because with these ones, Doroteo says truss rod adjustment wheel at the body is cool. Yeah, I agree with you. If someone wants to put the truss rod neck adjustments here, where you can actually put that, you know, that wrench or that key in there and shift it around like that, that's fantastic. Some of these guitars don't have it. Like the N4s, for example, don't have that. You literally have to take the neck out to be able to adjust the truss rod, and it's annoying. It's really annoying. I don't like it. Yeah. Zohair says, I recently got the Donner DST 200 Fender style guitars for a low price. I haven't seen those either. You guys are really introducing me to new stuff today. Hey, thanks for that. Let's check it out. Donner DST 200 black. Let's see. Is that the one you got? Zohair? Yeah, is it that? Okay. Let's check out the specs. In real life, better than online? Image? Oh, okay. The online image isn't bad. That's not a bad image at all. So let's talk about it. I mean, vintage style tuning pegs, maple neck, C-shaped. Yeah, that's very Fender, as you very correctly said. Body curve, poplar body, 3-ply aged pickguard, purple hard, fretboard matte finish. I love the matte finish guitars. I like them much more. And you got the coil. You got the coil split. Bunch of configs, which is nice with your HSS config there. How does it sound? Does it sound good? Do you like the sound? Do you enjoy playing it? Because that's all that matters. Poplar body with exciting new coloring scheme, refined take on modern classic, provides an impressive treat for your eyes and hands. Right. Dude, I had a Fender Strat before, but was organizing room, kept it near AC for a couple of days and found pickguard warped. So I had to sell it like 3 years ago. Wow, okay. Yeah, the thing is like, man, it's like brand and price tag is not really a reliable indicator of quality. It's just not a reliable indicator of quality at all. Whatsoever. Yeah. Arkin asked, by the way, where are you from? Okay. So, I'm ethnically half Iranian, half American. I was born in Tokyo, Japan. I live in Australia currently, and very likely in Texas in a couple of years, 2-3 years. So, yeah. Zohair said, still miss it. It was a Mexican Fender Strat for $700. Right. Yeah, okay, that's a bummer. Doroteo said, that axe would look sick with black hardware. Cleaner look compared to the chrome hardware. Yeah, that would look sick with black hardware. I agree. 100%. It's not bad. The chrome hardware is not bad on it either. But yeah, I see your point. I would I would like to be honest with you guys. Like I would like all of it black. If I get a partially black guitar, I want it all to be like black. Like all like throughout. Pick guard, hardware. Yeah. Zuhair said, yeah, the donor sounds good. The donor sounds good, but will replace pickups later soon. So what pickups are you putting in there? What kind of pickups are you putting in there? Yeah. Can I tell you guys something? And probably Simmer Duncan. Something. Not sure yet. Okay. Like imagine you put like a pair of Simmer Duncan Nazguls in there. Suddenly, like a guitar you bought, like $200-300 guitar you bought, suddenly is gonna sound like a monster. It'll be hilarious. Like if you go in, if you put on Nazguls or something like Alpha Omega in there, like Simmer Duncan's Alpha Omega, it's gonna go crazy. Yeah. Steve Brown Sounds makes sick pickups at a great price. What kind of pickups are there? So like when you say sick guitars, is it for like what genre? Is it high output like metal pickups, or is it more like a rock, jazzy, bluesy? What kind of pickups are we talking about here? Any way to check pickup sound before buying? Honestly, mostly YouTube videos. But even then, Zuhair, and I asked that question for myself too. I don't know the answer to that, because every demo that you see on YouTube, the final sound that comes out is not just your guitar. There's pedals, there's multi-effects pedals, there's different amps, and then that goes into probably some sort of a DAW, if there's any plugin or any EQ adjustments to that or whatever not. So anything that you see on YouTube is already like, the final output has so many variables in it already. So it's really hard to isolate a sound of that pickup. Plus, if you think about it, like if you believe in the tone wood argument, if you think that the tone wood of a guitar has an impact, however little, on the final output, then that's another variable. The best I could find, the best thing I could find was to check out its response frequency. Like if you can get your hands on the response frequency of that or some indication of it, and then listen to some demo and make a decision. And the good news is that even if it's like even if it's not the perfect pickup, you can always, buy a like an affordable multi-effects unit and make a whole bunch of adjustments to it and make it the way you want it to sound, or get a VST plugin and make it sound the way you like it to sound. Because of all technology and AI and computers and yada yada, affordable multi-effects pedals are killing it. Like they're really good stuff out there. I've got a Zoom G3XN. It's like a 3-button multi-effects pedal, and I love it. It's like this big, and you can put it in a knapsack and carry it everywhere, and it's so good. It sounds so great. Yeah. Doroteo said the Steve Brown ones are metal pickups. I'll check them out. Okay. I'm a ceramic humbucker snob. Yeah, we all got one of those, man. Have it with pride. I'm a US made guitar snob, but we all got some sort of a snob, so I'll take mine with pride. I'd suggest you take yours with pride too. It is what it is. What's the difference between Alnico and ceramic? Good question. My understanding is that the difference between Alnico and ceramic is the magnetic power that it generates. So depending on the core you've got, the pickup has different magnetic power. So when the strings go wobble wobble, when they resonate near your pickup, you got a different strength, you get in a different core. So that change in the electromagnetic field around the pickup is different. And so then that delta gets picked up by a pickup, goes to the cable, goes to the amp, and that sort of becomes the basis of generating the sound, right? So when it comes to differences in the sound of your pickups, the input part, the way that the sound comes to the pickup, has a lot to do with how strong the magnetic field that pickup generates is. That's the reason why, for example, when you are setting up your guitar, one of the things they say is that if you bring your pickup too close to the string, if you bring it too far up, you actually reduce the sustain of your guitar, because the magnetic field now is stronger and stronger as you get closer to the magnet. And so your strings sort of like die out. The resonance in your the resonance in your string dies out earlier, so it kills the sustain a little. They're just different, honestly. Some people, like Dorothy, who's like, I'm a ceramic humbucker snob. Some people like one or the other, and I respect all of those reasons. Sound, to me, is subjective. It really is. But then again, I've got my own biases for US-made guitars, so. Yeah. I hope that you called. I gotta go to my look at me. You called me Professor. I hope. Look at me, Zuhair. Not the eyebrows this time. I hope you called me Professor. It wasn't like too sarcastic. A little sarcasm is okay. But if you're like, yeah, I got it, Professor. Like if it was that, I hope. Like I don't know how you said Professor. Like I don't know the tone of that voice. Like when you said it. Partly sarcastic. Well, I hope so. Partly is okay. If it, complete sarcasm, that's when I'll start calling you a classical guitar player. There is a book on this. My goodness, what was that Argentinian luthier's name? If I can find it, I'll let you know. There is this Argentinian luthier guy who's like a kick-ass luthier, and he has this like whole book about the type of magnet, the core magnet in your pickup, the number of coils, the material that you get that wire out of, and all of that. And it's such an interesting. If I can find that book, I'll let you know, man. I read it like once a while ago. Doroteo said ceramic have great pick attack and produce a stronger field. Yeah. If I can find that book, hold on. Book about pickups, Argentinian or Argentine luthier. Let me see if I can find that book for you guys. No, these are all classical guitar. If I can find it, I'll let you know. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, I can't find it, guys. If I can find it, I'll let you know. But there is this book that a guy who's, I think, from Argentina did write about it. Yeah. Doroteo said ceramic magnets are often used in high output pickups to help retain high end that is lost due to overwinding and help to create crunchy sounding pickups, heavy blues, metal, and rock style. Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Exactly pickups one. How you described it? Yeah. No, that's pretty accurate. Thing is, and I'll add to Doroteo said it exactly right. I'll add to what Doroteo said. That is, these guitars, the ceramic one sounds a little bit more, like harsher, sometimes even brittle, comparing to Alnico magnets. They're less warm in a lot of ways. So one downside of those pickups, and again, they're probably far better pickups for metal and hard rock and all that. They do sometimes lack subtle, like dynamic responses, like the characters that some players prefer. So especially in the mids, you probably see a difference in the warmth sometimes in those pickups, comparing it with the ceramic magnets. Yeah. Why do you always hear Alnico, 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 and rarely ceramic? You're probably hearing that from a lot of more like vintage style players, like old school, like blues players, sometimes jazz players. There's like I said, and the first thing I told you about it was that sound is so subjective. Like so, like an Alnico makes Alnico chord pickup makes perfect sense to be like deployed on a Telecaster for somebody who plays jazz or blues. Makes perfect sense. Doesn't make any sense to have a ceramic pickup there where you lose some of that subtleties of your dynamic response in the mid-range. Right? For a metal guitar, I think you want to go distorted and all like high end, high gain, rather, then ceramic pickups are probably a better way to go about it. But sound is always subjective. Like, I told you guys what the funny thing my uncle said. So my uncle had this like, one of my uncles has this like really big, it's not a yard, like he lives in it, and this was like massive sort of a ranch thingy, right? And he has this like power generating machine, like electric power generating machine. You feed it gas, this machine thing, it's really loud. It's like boom, 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 boom. Whatever you turn it on, it supplies electricity to the thing when the electricity is out, right? A lot of people have it. He has it. He has a very big one, right? Now, he hates metal music that I love and play every time. So when I went to his place and I had my guitar with me, I had my headphones on and I was playing yada, yada, yada. And then he cracked this joke. He's like, look, if you want, I can just take you to the power room where the machine sits in. Turn it on and it sounds exactly like your guitar. You're going to have a great time there. Just sit there. You know what I mean? He can't stand it. And so if you're a type of person that can't stand that sound, and that's not what you do, ceramic pickups are not for you. But again, can I say something? And Zuhair is giving like gold gems. Like you guys, Dorothy and Zuhair, both of you guys are like bringing up really good discussions here. Can I just say this though? Ultimately the sound that comes out of your guitar is a combination of like 30 different factors, right? From the type of your string to the anything that touches the string is God. So that's your fret material, that's your bone material, that's your bridge material, that's your pickups, that's your tone wood, that's the type of cable that goes from your guitar to your amp, that's the type of your amp. Do you have multi-effects pedals in there? Do you know what I mean? How thick is your string? What's your string gauge? Are you doing like a 942 or are we going like 1156? Do you know what I mean? So all of these factors contribute to what the final sound of your guitar really is. Yes, but pickup are the most impactful out of those 30. No, 100% they are. 100% they are. No questions about it. No questions about it. But don't be surprised, for example, if you get like, for example, you get two different guitars that are the exact same models, like two PRS SE guitars as an example, that everything else is about them is the same, but they sound a little different. Some part of your tone is how you pick and mute. 100%. We said everything except from like the main ingredient, which is the player, didn't we? Yeah, how you play. How you play. Speaker is vital as well. Yes. But yeah, it's like crazy. It's like there's a lot that goes into that sausage to get you that final sound. And so, yeah. Like people say that tone is in your fingers, but I tend to sometimes forget it and I shouldn't. I just speak for myself. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's like a whole world. Also, Zuhair, check out an Dorothy or two. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out the there's like a documentary thingy on YouTube on Fishman pickups and how they changed the game on how they produce the pickup. Like inside the pickup doesn't look like a magnet and a coil; it looks like an electric circuit. So check those out as well if you're into like if you wanna go down the rabbit hole. Fishman Fluence, it really brings in something new there. So, but yeah, okie dokie. Shall we go to the next item on the docket? Because I wanted to have a chat about this guitar too. This guitar looked a little interesting to me. It's a new guitar that is out. It's Charvel. But if you guys don't mind, I wanted to have a quick chat about that one too. I'm active. I'm an EMG guy. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not surprised. As a Metallica fan, Pantera fan, like Kirk and James rock EMG all day, every day. EMGs are great. EMGs are really good. The thing people get wrong about EMGs all the time is that they think of them as, like, when it comes to their response frequency, they think of them as a crazy high output. EMGs are not. EMGs are actually really compressed. There is a preamp in the pickup when you have an active EMG that sort of increases that output there. But actually, EMG pickups were initially made for their tightness. That's why a lot of people like mistakenly call EMG pickups sterile, because they think that it's too compressed and it doesn't have that. It misses some subtleties. I disagree with that. It's just a different tool. But yeah, the thing a lot of people get wrong about EMG is that they think of EMG as the ultra high output. They're not. They're actually very compressed in their frequency response. They have a preamp in there that actually lifts everything up. Yeah. Zohair says, I believe I saw some years ago those Epiphone Prophecy Les Paul SGs and had Fishman Fluence pickups in there. Yeah, they've changed it. Yeah, they've changed some of their works. Check them out if you're into pickups and all that. They're pretty interesting. I think I had that same impression of EMGs. Right. Look, it's a tool. EMGs are super good to get a tight thrash sound. EMGs are just like the best. So like that's why Metallica's like Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield use it. I love the sound of those. So it's just a tool. So I've got a guitar with Fishman pickups. That Telecaster there obviously has Alnico pickups in there. My PRSs both have Seymour Duncans in there. I've got Bill Lawrence in the new nose. They're just different tools. Similar to Alnico and ceramic pickups and all that. It's just a different tool. You use for what works best for you. There's no good and bad in there. Yeah. Anyways, let me take us here. I really want to talk about this guitar. Check this out. Check this out. I really want to show you this as well. This is this new guitar. It's a Charvel Pro Mod Plus SoCal that comes with an Evertune. Have you guys seen this before? This is a new guitar that came out. It came out not long ago. I never understood why. So this model is called Pro Mod Plus SoCal Style 1HH Evertune. Can you guys see this? I never understood, for the life of me, like to save my own life, I have no idea why would anybody name a model of the guitar like this. Like, why would you do that? Like similar to Ibanez, like Ibanez RG and then some freaking barcode, like 3572K LMN5. Like, why would you do that? Why not just like make it, put a memorable name on it? That's an insane. I agree with you. It's an insane name. No one's supposed to remember that. No one in their right mind should try to remember that. Why would you do that? It's ridiculous. And they still do it. I don't get it, man. I don't understand why. But that, right, um, is a rock solid instrument supposedly, and it comes with outfitted with an Evertune bridge system, which some people love, some people don't. It comes in midnight blue and black hardware. It is tour ready, so it's designed to stand up the toughest touring schedules. And it says that it has a sculpted body and a bolt-on caramelized maple. Zohair says, go to Guitar Store, say, hi, what are you looking for? Oh, I'm here for the Pro Mod Plus SoCal Style 1HH EVNTNE. Yeah. And the Guitar Store goes like, even they don't know it. I bet you. Divertio says, Schecter knows how to name their guitars compared to other brands. Hell yeah. I totally agree with you. And that's why we remember it. That's why we remember it. Like Demon. The model I think we talked about on stream before. And I think somebody had it here. I think you had it here. Schecter Damien. Banshee. Yeah. They're metal guitars. They have metal goth names. Hellraiser. I love their Hellraiser models, by the way. For those who haven't tried Schecter Hellraiser, highly recommended. I've played with it. It's so fun to play. It's one heck of a guitar. Yeah, like, what is this? These guys, like, this is bad, and Ibanez is really bad too. Like, they have this, like, Tim Henson signature, and they call it, like, some code with, like, some initials. I'm like, why would you do that? Doroteo says Hellraiser, yes. I said Hellraiser, super good guitar. Amazing guitar. But yeah, so this is the specs of this guitar, right? So this guitar goes for $1,800 US dollars. That's like 3,100 Australian dollars, right? And where is the specs on this? It was somewhere around here. Oh, there we go. So it's two humbuckers, obviously. You have, oh my goodness. Hey, did I tell you guys, Zuhair, when you talked about the guitar you bought, the Donner guitar you bought, I told you to put a Nazgul in there, remember? This guitar has a Nazgul in the bridge. Seymour Duncan Nazgul. What a coincidence. I didn't check the I didn't check the spec to prepare for this and crack that joke. I'm being honest with you. Complete coincidence. Yeah. Is this a rosewood fretboard, but the back is a roasted maple? I'm not actually, yeah. Yeah, this looks like ebony to me. The fretboard, where is it? Gloss alder, hardware finish. Where's the, not fretboard, ebony. Yeah, I told you. No. I swear to God, I didn't check the specs. I swear to you, I promise you, I didn't check the specs. For fairness, Seymour Duncan, Nazguls, and Sentient, that couple, is very common in a lot of hard rock metal guitars that use Seymour Duncan. It's a very common combination. But yeah, I wanted to put the Nazgul in my Hello Kitty Squire guitar. But yeah, so you have a 5-position blade. You have a caramelized maple. And by the way, there is no difference between caramelized maple and roasted maple. When somebody says caramelized maple neck or roasted maple neck, there's absolutely no difference between them. They're just the same, different names for the same thing. The idea is that you put that piece of wood in the oven or in the heated room for longer to take more moisture and water out of it. So from the standard like 4 or 5% moisture that is usually in your guitar wood, because usually they get the piece of wood, they chop it down, put it in heated rooms or in the oven to reduce the temperature, because that makes your guitar more stable. That makes your wood more stable. You have to do that. You have to bring the moisture down to 5%, 4%, 6%, usually around that mark, to make sure that wood is ready for your luthiers to start working on it. So there's a drying process there. Caramelized maple basically keeps that wood for a little longer and increases the temperature, reduces the temperature and increases that period for a little longer. Kind of burns the wood a little bit, but it brings down the moisture component, the water component, even more. Makes your neck more stable, right? But in doing that, you're burning the wood a little bit, and that's why it's darker. Therefore, they call it caramelized or caramelized maple. Yeah, that's what basically this is about. And when it says, like, have a look, it says bolt on with graphite reinforcement. From these two elements here, so caramelized maple and graphite reinforcement, you know that they put a lot of thought into guitar stability. And one of the marketing angles of this guitar was that it's tour ready. It's supposed to take punishment, right? So this makes perfect sense in the specs. This makes perfect sense in the specs. Neck finish is natural satin. Fingerboard radius is 12 to 16 inch compound. Hey, today is compound radius guitars, huh? We had that, and we had the Sur that Dorothea recommended. Fingerboard material is ebony. Fret size is jumbo stainless steel. Knot material is Graphtec. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, what kind of synthetic material is in Graphtec? Is it like some sort of like a graphite composite or something like that? I don't know what this is, what material it's made out of. If somebody knows, please let me know. And headstock is a licensed Fender Stratocaster headstock. And we know that because we know that Fender owns Charvel. The investing firms, the two investing firms that own Fender, they also own Charvel and Bigsby. Charvel and Bigsby and Jackson and Squier, and what else is there? What else is there that Fender owns? There's so many companies that Fender owns. They don't own Ibanez, but it won't be long now. But yeah, that is the guitar. Thing is, and I've read a lot about. Not a lot, but I've read some stuff about when it comes to like making the wood ready for the luthier to start working on it. And one very interesting thing is that caramelized necks in general, and higher end woods that are very dense, so the grain of the wood is more closely next to each other, so it's harder for the moisture to come out. These guitars have to be in the heated room for longer. There are like some high-end guitar factories like PRS or Sur, for example. For them, the process of drying the wood sometimes takes months. And so drying a piece of wood for months obviously increases your operational costs. Dorothea says, do you come from a dancing background? I do. How did you know that? Hold on a second. How did you know that? So for those who didn't see it, for those on Twitch, Dorothea, one of our guys on YouTube, asked me, do you come from a dancing background? Yeah, I do. I had my dance school. I had my own dance school. And then because of COVID, we had to shut down, but that was my business. Yeah. Zuhair says, we get that vibe. Really? How? Dorothea says, I heard that you said months ago. Oh, God. Okay. You heard me saying it in a video months ago. Man, you spooked me out for a second. Yeah. So, I was a professional dancer. Guys, I wasn't always this round. Like, if you go, hold on, let me stop the let me stop the music. We have to go to the look at me view. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this double chin. Okay, I was not always this round. I used to have abs. I used to be fit. Um, and I used to be a professional dancer. That was a side thingy that I did in late high school and in college. And so that was the thing that was my job, like my part-time job. I start to pay the bills, and then just got into it and then did it full time and then opened my own business, and then COVID shut us all down. And I don't know about you guys. So those who were in, especially if you're like in America, like Dorothy, you're in Texas, which is not like government is not that abnormous in Texas, like it is in California, for example. But Melbourne, Australia, like the state of Victoria where we were at the time when COVID hit in, literally, without exaggeration, had the harshest lockdowns in the world. We had a 2 year lockdown, and halfway through we had like curfews in there with like Australian military walking in the street to make sure that people are not coming out because of COVID. And so in that 2 year gap, I had to figure something out, and I had to do transition and everything else, and so on and so forth. But I used to be a professional dancer. Yes. So Hare says, you're easygoing, smiling, laughing. I can see you dancing, and then the music in the background sometimes reminds of dancing. Oh, thank you. It's good. I'm glad you get that vibe, man. Um, it we live one life. Might as well smile and be easygoing and have a good time and laugh. And I love this. I love coming here and talking about guitars and having a chat and um, having some fun together, right? Yeah. Dorothy says, my daughter does Latin ballroom dance. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Great dance. Latin ballroom is amazing. And it's great that you let your baby daughter do something artistic like this. Ballroom is amazing. Amazing exercise. A lot of fun. Beautiful music. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever. Dance and guitar, best things ever, man. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, you don't need anything else. Like, in terms of entertainment and fun, like, there's a lot. Yeah, already in dancing and guitar is a lot. Yeah. But yeah, man. Like, do I play any other instruments? No, man. Like, guitar was my only love. Electric guitars, solid body electric guitars. Nobody says anything acoustic or classic, okay? Electric guitars, solid body without a hole, has been my only love ever. Nothing wrong with other instruments. I'm joking around, obviously, but yeah. I got a keyboard recently, been teaching myself. Oh man, okay. How's that? How's that going? Tell me this. Did playing the guitar, like the mind finger coordination on playing the guitar, help with learning the keyboard? Or was it like a completely new experience? Dorothy says she's a pianist since 5 years old, classically trained. Now she's 15. God bless her. And so good of you to do that, man. I got to tell you, can I tell you something? And this comes from the heart. Because when I was growing up, I grew up in sort of like a rough family. It wasn't like a normal upbringing standard at all. And I was never allowed to play an instrument. And I had like a lot of ups and downs back in my childhood to be able to pick up a guitar. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of thing from my immediate circle. So God bless you for doing that for your daughter. She'll grow up and it'll mean a lot, both the piano and the dance. And she's gonna make you proud. I can say it already. Yeah. Zuhair says, me too. Only been into guitars past 16 years. Recently got into acoustic guitars and other genres beside rock and metal. And now keyboard. Yeah, good, okay. Some little parts similar to guitar, but most parts completely new experience. Yeah. I would think probably your right hand. If you're a right-handed person, I would think the right hand probably be a little bit more of a challenge because the left already... You get one life. Parents should be supportive. Hear, hear, man. Amen. Preach. She also plays classical and electric guitar too, Doroteo said. Man, you got a talented young lady, hey. God bless her. That's good. That's really good. Do you guys jam together? Like, surely you guys jam together. Don't tell me you guys don't jam together, Doroteo. And you play pretty good too. I saw your videos. There were a couple of like videos that you played briefly. The last two videos on your channel, I think. Tell me you guys jam together. Because I'll be shocked if you don't. Like you gotta, yeah. Yeah, okay. That's good. Can I tell you what? Can I tell you guys something though? This is a great segue. Because I was reading this article not long ago about what's his face? Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden, right? So the number of the Beast Ibanez Destroyer he got, that was actually a gift that he got like a long time ago when he was really young. Yeah. And it's not just like people like him. It's like, you know, Doroteo is an amazing parent, so supportive. Zuhair loves, you know, instruments and playing guitars and other instruments now. You have like professional players like Matthew Heafy from Trivium that when he was a kid, his parents gave him like a Les Paul, like a Gibson Les Paul. Tim Henson when he was a freaking baby, like it was like 3, I think the parents were like, you know, give him a guitar. Julian Lage. Julian Lage was 12 years old on the stage with Carlos Santana. I think if I'm not mistaken, in year 2000, Grammy Awards year 2000. It was either the Grammys or the Oscars. And he was 12 years old on the stage with Carlos Santana, and the parents like gave him the guitar when he was a kid. Some people are just lucky like that, and so good that it's the case. Thank God it's the case. Thank God people get to start early and get beautiful gifts like this. Yeah. So there we go. It's like, I always said it, right? If you know how to play an instrument and if you have fun with it, you'll never be alone. In fact, sometimes you might seek to be alone so you can play. Like your friends are like, hey, you want to go out for this and that? And you're like, oh, no, I'm busy. Oh, okay. And you're like, yeah, no, I have a lot of things to do. And you sneak away to pick up the guitar. You know what I mean? We've all done that. Yeah, that's her performing at U of H Bristol Center. Hell yeah. Zuhair said, agreed. Firm handshakes. It's an amazing thing, man. And can I say something? And I don't have any kids, so I don't get to make any comments about anything kid related. But to me, it seems like getting your kid to be obsessed with guitar or with dancing is just far better, a million times better, than to have him like get obsessed with drugs or alcohol, right? And alcohol has its place. Like, you know, who doesn't like a nice shot of scotch, a cold bottle of beer on a hot sunny day? You know what I mean? Not saying that alcohol is bad. Drugs, you know, maybe don't do that. But you know, once in a while, doesn't hurt to have a glass of beer. But it's just so much better to have people to be more obsessed with something like guitar or dance, which is like an exercise. It's a healthy activity, good for your mental, fun, and just helps you with your personal development because you know you're never lonely. Much better to have people dealing with those things as opposed to like drugs and alcohol, especially at the young age. Like 15 years is really young. Like 15, 16, 17, like those teenage years are pretty crazy. So we've all been there. Like, don't tell me you guys weren't like doing crazy stuff when you were 15, 16. Like you'd think back right now and be like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the thing. Anyways, man, guys, I think I'm going to leave it here. I think we've been on for a couple of hours. We've covered the items on the docket. So for those who don't know, those who joined in a little late, we've covered a few items on the docket today. First, we talked about Ed Sheeran's new PRS SE model, the Ferrari. And by the way, I'm saying these things in case you are interested to, hear about it. You can go back and check the video again earlier on. Zuhair says, take care, both of you. Nice meeting you here today. See you, take care too, brother. Good to see you today. Appreciate you. Take care. Have a great weekend ahead. But yeah, first we talked about PRS's SE model. We talked about Ed doing this new music video and the new guitar out. Then we talked about Gibson's vintage initiative, certification and care and all that jazz. Then we talked about Matt Bellamy's 8-string guitar. Then we went through a whole bunch of stuff. We talked about Washburn, and we didn't get to talk about the Eddie Van Halen thingy, but that's okay. And we talked about Charvel, and you guys, introduced me to new guitars, and I appreciate you doing that. We had amazing discussions on pickups. Guys, thank you so damn much for today. I had a lot of fun. I really, really hope you had a lot of fun. And I might actually stream again tomorrow, guys. I don't know. I'll see. Because there's a whole bunch of guitar news that is always out there every week. But I don't want to get live with have nothing to say. I want something substantive to talk about, right? And so I might actually be live tomorrow depending on that. And we'll see how we go. Dorotio said, awesome live stream. Check out the video link in the comment if you can. Thanks. I'll do that, man, for sure. And with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out. I had a great time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And, oh, baby. And I'll see you in the next video. Weekend is here, baby. Weekend is here. Can we please start the weekend with high energy? Can we just, oh, let's go. Weekend's here. Pick up that guitar, practice, have fun, kill it, live. Woo. And mwah. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Woo. Yeah.